Voltaire's wit, how satire shaped the Enlightenment. Voltaire turned laughter into a lever, prying open old institutions until the Enlightenment could breathe. Number 5. From Mock to Modern, how ridicule rewired reform. Voltaire didn't just crack jokes, he cracked armor, using ridicule to dent the shiny breastplates of aristocratic privilege, judicial cruelty, and dogmatic thinking until they looked embarrassingly medieval in a mirror held up by wit. By making superstition look silly rather than scary, he lowered the social cost of questioning it, inviting readers into a club where reason was the dress code and snobbery was turned away at the door. His satire reframed reform from a grim purge of tradition to an irresistible upgrade, the intellectual equivalent of trading a creaky carriage for a dazzling new contraption called civil rights. The result was a contagious cultural shift. Laughter became a gateway drug to skepticism, which in turn powered movements for toleration, freer inquiry, and, eventually, modern ideas of human dignity. Number 4. Salons, swords, and sharp quills. Wit as social currency. In the salons of Paris, Voltaire's epigrams moved faster than couriers and hit harder than sabers. A well-aimed quip could elevate an argument, deflate a reputation, and set the table for policy gossip before dessert arrived. These rooms were his laboratory and stage, where conversation was a contact sport and the prize was influence. Patrons, printers, and princes all tuned their ears to whoever could make intelligence sparkle. Voltaire's wit functioned as a passport, getting him into courts and correspondence with monarchs, even as it smuggled contraband ideas under the lace cuffs of polite society. In this theatrical economy, he showed that a line well turned could be a law well primed, converting social performance into intellectual pressure on the ancient regime. Number 3. Holy cows, sacred laughs, satire versus churchly power. Voltaire's anti-clerical jokes were not a demolition of faith but a locksmith's art on its rusted gates. He separated devotion from domination with a grin and a crowbar of irony. By poking at relic hawkers, inquisitorial zeal, and miracle merchandising, he exposed how institutions could monetize fear and muzzle thought, while leaving space for deism, conscience, and genuine piety. Cases like the Calas affair let him turn outrage into outreach, mobilizing the reading public with scathing elegance rather than shrill fury. His method made tolerance feel not just moral but stylish. After a Voltairean punchline, fanaticism looked unfashionable, and a freer, kinder religion suddenly fit like the century's new coat. Number 2. Letters with teeth. The pamphlet wars and public opinion. Voltaire weaponized the pamphlet like a paper rapier, cheap to wield, quick to print, and perfectly suited to a duel with censorship. He ducked behind pseudonyms, smuggled pages across borders, and borrowed the tone of legal briefs, travelogues, and catechisms to parody the very tools of authority. In the churn of coffeehouses and bookstalls, these bite-sized missiles trained anew, participating public to read between lines and laugh at the pretensions on top. The epistolary skirmishes didn't just inform, they rehearsed citizens in skepticism, creating a chorus of sharers, quoters, and arguers who discovered they were an audience with power. Number 1. Lightning in a Teacup. Candide and the Art of Cheerful Catastrophe. Candide zipped from disaster to disaster as if the universe were a slapstick stage, and each pratfall topples a philosophical idol. By smiling through earthquakes, wars, and shipwrecks, Voltaire exposes the fragility of all is for the best optimism without ever raising his voice. The novel's absurd momentum becomes a truth machine. When theory keeps face-planting into reality, readers learn to distrust systems that demand our suffering as proof of their elegance. Yet the closing turn to modest labor, cultivating one's garden, recasts enlightenment as practical courage, less trumpet blast, more steady hoe. Under the comedy, Candide whispers a sturdy ethic: do what helps, doubt what harms, and keep your hands in the soil of the real. Voltaire taught Europe to laugh with its eyes open. Once you've seen power in a funhouse mirror, you never forget which side of the glass you'd rather live on.